Good morning again. Today we are going to discuss Unit 8 of your course MFN 003 Microbiology, and the topic of discussion today is food adulteration. Okay, so food adulteration, first we need to understand what is the meaning of food adulteration. Here in your book it is defined PFA Act. According to your PFA Act, PFA means the Food Prevention of Food Adulteration Act. Okay, so under the PFA Act, the definition of food adulteration takes into account not only the intentional addition or substitution or subtraction of substance which adversely affect the nature, substance and quality of food, but also their incidental contamination during the period of growth, harvesting, storage, processing, transportation and distribution. So this is your definition according to the PFA Act, which is actually better if it comes in your exam. You have to write it from here. Okay, so you'll get full marks. But in layman term, you can define food adulteration as something that is not food. Okay, for example, something if you have rice and something that is not rice, a substance that is not rice found in the rice bag, it is your adulterant. It can be anything. It can be sticks, it can be paper, it can be grass, it can be a piece of cloth, it can be a stone. So anything in a food that is not food, which is supposed to be there, okay, that any substance that is there, it is your adulterant. Okay, so moving on to the common adulterants, table 8.1 will show you the common types of adulterants, that is with which the food is commonly adulterated. Okay, here also detected in milk powder, ghee and vanaspati. So these are all adulterants detected, so you can always go through it or read through it. So why do we add an adulterant in a food? Okay, so this question is a good discussion can be done in a question. People add adulterant to the food so as to make the, I'm not talking about quality. Definitely the quality of the food is not good. Okay, but what happens is, like, if you add adulterant to the food, it sometimes it tends to look more attractive. Sometimes it tends to increase the weight of the product, which is which is not actually the weight of the product. For example, if a bag of rice has a calculative amount of stones in it, then the automatic weight of the rice bag will increase. Okay, which is for the traders, it is quite profitable for the traders if they add an adulterant to the if they add an adulterant in the bag. Okay, so these are a few discussions. People have reason of their own. Next we have adulterants and their illustration. Categories, we have the classification of adulterants. Classification table 8.2 and table 8.3 is your classification of adulterants. Okay, categories and adulterants. Categories consist of coal tar, dyes, cheaper rust, cheaper agricultural products, chemical agitators, extraneous matter, fungi, insects, infestation, and adulterants. What kind of adulterants fall under these categories? It is tabulated in this particular table. Next, we have the newer food adulterants, that is table number 8.3. We have food and we have adulterant. Food, for example, legume, pulses, milk, flours, bakery products, vanaspati. Adulterant is toxic lentils, imported leukemia, leucophila seeds, milk, veterinary drugs, residue. Flours, they can add moldy wheat flour. Bakery products can contain animal fat, and vanaspati, industrial contaminants like orthonitro-aniline. Okay, so these are the adulterants. Now we will see what are the harmful effects of the adulterants. So what can happen when there are adulterants in the food, and what harm does it do. In table 8.4, page number 186, you have table adulterant and their ill effects. So serial number wise you have there, and then food, basic food like milk, oil, and food colors, chemical and adulterant use, what kind of chemical and adulterant is used in this kind of food, and what is the effects or ill effects that these adulterants are causing after you consume the food adulterated with such chemical or adulterant. Okay, next we have table 8.5. In table 8.5, just give me a second. In table 8.5, we will discuss the method of identifying the adulterants in food. Okay, so how do you identify simple? These are the simple methods of detecting adulterant. Naturally you require chemicals, and it is a laboratory based thing in which you have to take the sample of the adulterated food which seems to be adulterated. Then you take it to a lab. You need test tubes, you need burners, okay, and then you need certain chemicals. Okay, it is to be supervised by a senior, and then you practice all this method of detection. Food for specific food and the adulterant, for example, if milk and milk product is containing starch or not, how do you know, or how do you identify? You take the mixed sample in a test tube with water, add a few drops of iodine solution. A blue color indicates the presence of starch. So these are the experiments that are to be done. These are the food products and the adulterant. For a particular adulterant, the test will come positive and you will get to know whether it is adulterated with this particular adulterant or not. Again, these are also done in your food science practical, as I've already told you, though that is MFN, different MFN, but this is different, but the method is same. Okay, so the unit consists of all these whatever we have discussed so far, and then you have your glossary 8.8 in page number 191. So you can always go to the glossary. Glossary is giving you the definition of certain terms. Okay, so it's easier to learn. It is easier to know the definition of certain terms. It will be easier for you to learn and understand what they are trying to say. Okay, and then you can always do the exercises, and then you can check the answers later. So that's it for today. Unit 8 is done. In next video we will be discussing unit number 11, and that is also in short. So thank you. Bye bye.